Welcome, fellow gamers. I am back once again. This time I'm playing NES. I'm playing Caltron 6-in-1. This was a rather obscure and, from what I understand, somewhat rare NES game. It comes in a really weird-looking cartridge that I've never seen in any other cartridge look like that before. And it was released by Caltron, published by them, I believe, as well. And it was already pretty rare as it was. And shortly after releasing this one and only cartridge, Caltron went under, but there was a company called Myriad that bought up all the cartridges that they had not sold that were still sitting around stock. And so what they did was they slapped a Myriad label right on top of the existing cartridges and resold them as Myriad 6-in-1, and those are even more rare. Jesus. I think this particular version, the original Caltron one, goes for about $250, and the Myriad ones go for $500 or more. So it's pretty insane. All 6 games on this cartridge, unlike some of the other weird pirate or multi-carts, are original games. They're clones of existing games, but they are original games. They're not something where they just took like Super Mario Brothers and hacked in some graphics and there you go, new game. No, these are 6 games unique to this cartridge, and this is the only way to get them and play them. So I'm going to play the first game on here called Cosmos Cop. I'm going to do different live streams of each game on this cartridge until I do them all. I always did like the music for this intro. Got the weird explodey thing going on. It just repeats that over and over. And that guy right there on the right, that robot-looking guy, is who you play as. Okay, here we go. That text sound. That's not good. Okay, a 2010, so apparently this takes place in 2010, so it's taking place in the past right now. Mission 1, crossover outside defense area. So instantly you can say that this is a game that's very similar to Space Harrier. It's seen from behind, and I'm flying the guy around that's in front right there, trying to shoot those things before they shoot me. You have unlimited bullets on button B, and you have bubbles on button A. You can see the counter for them down there. Boom. I already died. Flying into some asteroids. I'm literally flying into asteroids. Something interesting to note about this game, those P's are more energy from my bar down there at the bottom. Something interesting to note about this game is the instruction manual that came with it actually had the codes for the games in the instruction manual. And so there were codes for this game to get extra lives and get more ammunition, that kind of stuff. I used to have the instruction manual, and I lost it once upon a time. It pissed me off. Looks like Kitsune has joined us. Welcome. He says, what do you get when you rip off Space Harrier and Tetristar? This. I haven't heard of Tetristar. What's that for? What system is that for? Anyway, I'm going to play it again. Otherwise, that'd make for a really short and piss-poor live stream. There's no way to skip this. I would if I could. I'm generally not that good at shooting games, as I'm sure you've recognized by now. I don't think there's any particular reason to shoot these things other than for points. I used to have a turbo controller for this game. Piss. Maybe I should just start avoiding things instead of trying to shoot them. Whoa, I hit something. Damn it. The screen is nothing but sparks. And then eventually, after some predetermined length of time, I'll reach the end of the level. There'll be a little musical fanfare, and then that's it. If I reach the end of the level. Maybe I should just stay down in the corner and try and... No, that's not a good idea. I was going to say stay in the corner and avoid the sparks. Because they seem to only go diagonally or in like a plus formation. I'm definitely getting further now. I'm seeing enemies that I haven't seen before. Those eyeball crafts. Oh, come on, be the end already. Piss. Come on, I'm so close to the end. Oh, piss. Game over. Well, I got further. See, Kitsune says, TetraStar is a Famicom exclusive. Okay. It's known for the storyline scenes, the unique graphical design, which, by the way, I think storyline scenes, cinematics, those kinds of things in NES games are really cool. That's something I like about Ninja Gaiden. Anyway, he says it has the lack of dedicated background music, demonstrated by reproductions of famous classical songs from public domain. Interesting. He also says add Falsion or Falsion to the list. You look at those 3 games, and this game isn't really so bad. Not that polished, but an ambitious design for 8-bit. Yeah, I thought so, because they do at least have the varying sprite sizes, so whenever something's further away, it's smaller. And the NES does not have sprite scaling built in. So that means that they had to individually draw those sprites, and then, of course, scale them, or not scale them, display the right one according to distance. Tom says, I find shooting games really difficult because they move so fast, it's hard to get your bearings. Yeah, me too, kind of. The only shooting game that I'm really sort of good at is Star Fox. I did do a couple of Star Fox live streams previously on my channel. I did one where I show you how to get to the black hole, and another one where I show you how to get out of this dimension. You notice that weird white bar in the upper left-hand corner? A little bit of glitchiness. Sometimes it disappears, sometimes not. That's probably something that back in the day would have been hidden by the edges of the TV screen, like the plastic bezel that would be around the tube. But on flat screens, you don't have that. So for the NES especially, you see all these kind of weird glitchy things right around the border of the screen. Like, I think that solid white line on the left-hand side is another one of those glitchy kind of things. That's the way it comes out of the NES, so that's the way it goes onto the live stream. I think I'm actually really good at running into things. If this were a collision-based game, I'd be fucking master of the universe. I already game over again. I got less far. Jesus. I'm considering just playing all of the games in this one live stream. I'll do it. I'm gonna do that. Okay, this is no longer just Cosmos Cop. I'm gonna do them all. Reset. And hope it comes back up. Kisuni says, I don't know why Famicom/NES have the gray bar on the left, but only the real hardware does that. He also says he has a theory about junk hidden in the overscan concealed regions of the screen. When he says overscan, he means, like, the borders, effectively. Okay, so Magic Carpet 1001. This is the closest one, I think, to an original game on this cartridge. If it's a clone of something, then I actually don't know what it is. So when I was saying before they were all clones, I was lying. Okay. So this is a side-scrolling shooter, where you just have pissant little bow and arrow, and you shoot stuff. B does not do anything. Oh, and get used to those little bubble things because, you know, they love filling the screen with those. Also, no multiple shots on the screen at once. You fire your one arrow, it goes all the way to the edge or until it hits something. Fucker. Sometimes if you kill entire groups of things, I think you get a little, a bonus. Like a weapon upgrade. I think you can get weapon upgrades that allow you to shoot faster and maybe also shoot multiple shots at once. It's been so long since I played this, it's been like 20 years. Typically the only game that I would turn this, that I'd put this cartridge into play would be Porter. Ah, yes. Extra Life, I think that was. What did I hit? I didn't hit anything. Oh, fuck. Power. Oh, there we go. I get 2 shots now. Of course, I bet if I die, I lose my upgrades. Damn, I almost got that whole line of them. Okay, here comes a boss. Some kind of weird witch thing. And the music gets ridiculously simplistic. Come on, bitch. Holy shit, I did it. See if I can pause, check out the chat some more. Tom Smith says, thanks, Jeremy, for playing all the games. We're getting our money's worth. You mean $0? I'm giving you the best $0 you ever spent. He says, let's see what the weirdest game is. I already know what the weirdest game is. Kitsune says, if you know the CRT, which is cathode ray tube, in other words, a tube in a monitor, can't display those regions anyway, the overscan area, you can deliberately render something in advance, then when you need it, you can simply copy the bitmap rather than burn CPU time on it for speed. I seem to recall that being a technique on the Commodore 64 that was used. Tom says, I wouldn't mind playing this game. Seems kind of cool. 1-up seem to be a rare thing in these cheapo games. They are. Kisune says, speaking of cheap games, there is a whole world of poorly known games known under the series. Or THE. THE. What is that? Kitsune says, you cost me bandwidth. Okay. That's true. I forget how far I got in this game. Back when I was, playing it somewhat regularly. I have a vaguely interesting story to tell over how I got this game. I did not spend $250 for it, as you could have gathered from how I've been talking about it. I played it 20 years ago, and that's because they used to have this game rentable at one of the local video stores in the town where I grew up. And that video store is long since closed, unfortunately. But my parents rented it for me once on a whim. I don't think I was even with them when they rented it, so they brought it home. And I played it a lot, and they're like, he seems to like this. So eventually, when that store was cleaning out their stock of NES games because they were old and nobody was renting them anymore, systems were moving on, they were moving on to the SNES and that kind of stuff, my parents went back to the video store and bought the game. And that's how I got it. So, I would be surprised if my parents paid $10 for this game. Maybe 15 if you count the rentals. They might have rented it multiple times, actually. So yeah, I was very lucky. In fact, there's been a couple of times where I've really needed money, and I've considered selling this game on eBay, and I'm glad that I haven't. Because, like I said, I have a personal attachment to this game. That's an S. That's speed. So you can move around the screen faster. That's pretty good. See if I can get all these guys. Aha, nice. Look at this. I got 2 shots and I'm hauling ass. Jeez, look at all those fucking bubbles. Now, one side effect that is very common in shooting games like this is your rate of fire is dictated by your shot still being on the screen. So if you get really close to the enemy, you can shoot them ridiculously fast. Like that. You bitch basket. I remember I used to think that this first boss was really hard. But you saw it, I killed her in my first time playing, so maybe she's not actually that hard. Let's have another look at the chat. Tom says, my parents used to rent video games for me too, from the local variety store, which isn't there anymore. Yeah, there's really not such thing as a video store anymore. It sucks. Says he also bought a bunch of old VHS tapes when a long-standing video store went out of business. I used to work in a video store, actually, and I wonder what happened to all their stuff. Because that entire chain went under, not just the one I worked at. Jormore says he had the same experience as me around the time they liquidated the NES games where he lives. Oh, shit. I scrolled too far on my preview window. I scrolled the chat right off the screen. Kisune says many STG exhibit the close proximity approach. What's STG? He says he also bought a VHS within the last year. I've got a couple of boxes of VHS tapes still from stuff that I recorded off TV. Like I've got 90s Nickelodeon shows on there, and commercials and that kind of stuff. Might be fun to go back through those and see what's on them, but tapes, they're sequential access. Oh, the tape that Kitsune bought was Con Air for 50 cents. That's pretty much what they go for in flea markets and in vintage stores. There'll be something crazy like 2 for 99 cents or 5 for 99 cents. And those were cutting edge back in the day. People paid Blu-ray and DVD prices for a VHS tape. And that was back in those days, which means it was actually more expensive to buy a VHS tape than it was to buy a DVD. It was more expensive then to buy a VHS tape than it is to buy a DVD now. I mean, well, penis. I think we've seen enough of this game. Reset. Tom says he used to work in a video store too. It was called Video Flicks. I've never heard of it. Was that like a local store, or was that a chain for you? He says it was fun. We had a lot of unique customers in that neighborhood. I could tell you stories. I could tell you stories too. Yeah. The video store was kind of like Walmart. It attracted people of all walks. True. Kitsune, I said that VHS was cutting edge back in the day, but Kitsune says cutting edge was Betamax. Of course, nobody had Betamax. The only Betamax tape I ever saw when you could buy them new was when my aunt and uncle rented Gremlins 2, but they rented a beta by mistake and they didn't have a beta player. So, and they had it sitting there on their coffee table. And I remember looking at it and saying, "Beta? What the hell is this? And why can't you play it?" Like, I didn't understand the concept that there would be multiple competing video formats. Tom says the thing I can't believe is that you can't take programs off the TV anymore and keep them in any permanent format. It's one thing I liked about VHS. What Tom was talking about is there's really no such thing as a personal video recorder anymore outside of a DVR that you get with your TV service, and you can only record to what's in it. And there are ways with some of those set-top boxes to get the video that you've recorded off and onto an external hard drive, but they really don't want you to do that. So they've made it really hard to do. Which is irritating. It's like, because, like I said, you're limited to the space that's inside that box, and so you can't keep things around forever. Oh, I hit select by mistake, so it changed the music. That's what it does in this menu. Tom says that the place he worked at was a chain of small stores here in Canada. We have people from all walks too. We should compare stories sometime. I would now, but I don't want to take up too much time blabbing in the live stream. I want to play the games. True. Kitsune says you can always go with a Myth TV. I actually looked into Myth TV. Wasn't there a pre-built Linux box that I think ran Myth TV that you could buy? It was effectively a DVR, but it was an open source DVR. Kitsune says for SDTV using a VCR should still work for recording. That is if your DVR has composite or S-video outputs. Some of the newer ones might not anymore. Okay, so third game, Balloon Monster. Push start, and you see that instantly this is a clone of Buster Brothers. And I actually shot that bubble way too low. The goal is to shoot all the bubbles until they're gone. And you can only shoot up, which is exactly why I'm going to die now. So you want to shoot when the bubble is up as high as possible, because where you hit it determines where the bouncing height of the pieces that break off. The smallest ones are okay to shoot at any height because they don't break up anymore. Fuck! This game is actually pretty hard. If you get really fast at it, you can kill a bunch of these on their way down. Ah, now I'm fucked. Piss. This is another one of those games that is widely cloned, but I don't know of any other clones besides Buster Brothers. Fuck! Okay, that was stupid. I just got underneath it, trying to get him. Fuck! Once again, I shot that thing while it was too high. Or too low. So look at that, there's no way to get under him. It's like a fucking bubble avalanche. See, Tom says that he knows how to download stuff online and burn it to DVD, but that's when it comes to this. I'd love to transfer some of my old VHS tapes. I know you can buy recorders for that, but I don't want to. I don't want to spend the money. That's exactly what I was going to suggest, actually, because they still sell in Walmart, actually, a VHS to PC recording transfer box thing that then allows you to burn it to a DVD. Kisune says he got his for $10. Probably one of those weird Chinese ones, huh? You know, the ones that come with no branding on them whatsoever, and you can get them on eBay direct from China? Kisune says he uses his $10 thing to capture his consoles. Tom says the cheapest ones he could find here were $85 or more. It really does pay to shop around for those kinds of things, but keep in mind you're going to get what you pay for. Also, something you'll have to worry about when capturing to a PC is that capturing video, even SD video, can be more hardware intensive than you think, especially if it's recording to something like MP4. So you really need to have a fast PC to record over USB to capture and compress and encode that video all in real time. Otherwise, it's going to be dropping frames constantly, and you're going to end up with pieces of the recording that are just missing. Tom says this bubble game looks like one of those time wasters that people could get addicted to. Yeah, Buster Brothers was pretty popular back in the day. Kisune says $10 captures composite and S-video, but then you look at an HDMI-enabled capture device and it's like $180. That's because HDMI is higher resolution and it's digital. My specific HDMI capture box can capture in 1080p at 30 frames per second. I prefer to use 720p and 60 frames per second because the resolution of the stuff that I captured is way below 720p anyway, and I want to capture at full frame rate. And that takes some serious computing muscle when it's in a standalone box. So that's what you're paying for with those devices. You can get something cheaper like the HD PVR, which plugs into a PC, but like I said, the PC is doing most of the work there, so you need to have a fast PC to do it. It's a trade-off between where you want the hardware to be. Do you want to invest the money in your PC so that it can record better, or do you want to put it into a standalone box that can do it better? Kisune says everything's been okay with this bubblegum bites. I'd rather play Puyo Puyo. Yeah, I guess it could remind you of Puyo Puyo because of the bubbles falling. Puyo Puyo is a puzzle game for those that don't know. Many incarnations, many clones of it. It was the release that I mostly played was Kirby's Avalanche on the Super NES. Oh, okay, so Kisune got his recorder so cheap because it was a Pinnacle Dazzle that was used and nobody'd been on it. And those are fairly common, too, so yeah. I mean, not common now, but enough people bought them back in the day to make them common on eBay, so you can get those cheap on eBay. Tom Smith says, man, I know who to come to if I have tech problems, Jeremy. This is good info to have. Well, I'm happy to dispense good info. He says, I'm impressed by your knowledge. This Fox guy in the chat, too. But don't ask me to fix your computer, because I don't do that for free. For relatives, yes. Kisune says, I've never worked with a unit that does encoding by itself. it's actually very beneficial to have dedicated hardware for this, as I have for my entire system. There is no PC anywhere in this except for the preview window that I'm looking at right here, and that's all it's doing. It's just on YouTube looking at the chat. So it's not doing any encoding or uploading or anything. And the benefit of having all these dedicated boxes is that performance is rock fucking solid. I can be doing anything else on this PC that I want to, and it won't affect anything else. Whereas if I were using a PC to do the capturing, encoding, and streaming, then I probably wouldn't be able to have anything else running on the PC unless I got like a brand new PC with top specs. Kisune says he's also using OBS, which is Open Broadcaster software. I did look at that back in the day before I decided to go with dedicated boxes. And Jay has joined the chat. Welcome. He says, "Sup, bitches." So it's okay. Jay's just kidding. Okay, reset. Next game, which is Adam and Eve. More music that I recognize. It's kind of not good, but I have to like it because I remember it from my childhood. Now, it's doing the demo right now. I'm not playing. You can see that this is instantly a clone of Balloon Fight. It's pretty much exactly the same as far as the rules go. So the idea is you want to hit these snakes. They have one balloon that they start with. You hit them to pop their balloon, and then you land on them again to kill them. And the goal is to kill all the snakes in the level. Now when they land, if you don't get to them fast enough, they can start blowing their balloon back up and they can take off again. Also, if you can get to them fast enough, while they are inflating their balloons at the beginning of the level, then you can just land on them before they inflate their balloon and that'll kill them. The balloon that I have over my head is good for 3 hits. On the 3rd hit, I die. The other balloons that were coming up from the bottom have items in them, and that brown shitbird that came across the top of the screen, he shows up whenever you're taking a little too long, and he starts throwing rocks on the screen. I actually think they're poo nuggets. And they bounce all over the screen, and they generally make your life hell. This is actually a 2-player simultaneous game, so if there was another player here, they could be helping me kill these snakes. You see, I took a hit to my balloon, which is why it's blue and smaller now, but I can get these air pumps to inflate it again. There comes that damn bird. He's shitting all over everything. Come on. Get out of there. See, I don't want these snakes to hit my balloon with their tail, damn it! And there goes my 3rd one. I took some shit right to the head. Get out from above me, you stupid snake. Those poo nuggets pretty much bounce around forever unless you can land on them and basically glitch them off the bottom of the screen. Bitch. What the game giveth, the game taketh away. And there, I think, is there a timer? I don't see a timer. Which is good because I hate timers in games. But the game is basically, I think it has 40 levels of this, and I have beaten this game before. It's basically different layouts, and then they start throwing in things like spikes. At the bottom, you touch those and it's instant death. The Angry Video Game Nerd did a video on Bible games, and this game was featured in that video. And he made an excellent point. He's like, what the fuck does this have to do with the Bible? Basically, the only things are that it says Adam and Eve on the title screen, and that there are snakes, I think they look like worms, but I think they're supposed to be snakes, representative of the snakes from the Adam and Eve story. And sometimes these balloons will have apples in them, which are one-ups. Which is kind of stupid, because in the Adam and Eve story, the idea was that they were not supposed to eat the apples. One thing that these snakes do that pisses me off is they like to hang out near the top of the screen, which is, of course, it's impossible to get them up there. Which is why I've been doing a lot of vibrating against the top of the screen to try and get them to move down. Come on, fucker. There we go. Now, as far as the physics in this game, how they compare to Balloon Fight, I don't actually know, but I know they are way less realistic than a game like Joust. The physics in this are actually much more forgiving. But as you can see, it's still pretty easy to bounce off of stuff. Oh, come on, you motherfucker. Get out from there. Also, that animation that the snakes do when they die is just nuts. If they go apeshit, watch them. Just barely squeezed through that. Oh, come on. Oh, bad level design. One more. It's gonna hit me with shit. It didn't work! That's funny. Okay, I'm gonna pause and have a look at the chat here. Okay, Kitsune says to record he uses an i7 laptop and it doesn't even hit 10% average across 8 cores to do live encoding / streaming. Of course, you're probably capturing and streaming at what, 480p? Probably 30 frames per second. So that's not too tough. It's also dependent on what your video card is too, because the video card can help out in encoding. And I know my laptop, which is a second generation i7 quad-core, which is no slouch, it could not run an HD PVR at 720p 60 frames per second. It just couldn't do it. It didn't have the power. But it also has Intel HD video in it, so I think that's probably part of it. Kitsune says there's a PC Engine game, which PC Engine over here known as TurboGrafx 16. There's a PC Engine game where a flying enemy genuinely shits on your character. If you want to see birds genuinely shitting on characters, there is a game on the NES. It's called Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. He also says he has a PC Engine RPG whose manual comes with an insert showing off some enemies that are in the game. One of them is a turd that looks exactly like the poo emoji. Drummer says the music reminds him of Kiss the Girl. Kiss the Girl. Kiss the Girl. I can't do the rolling tongue thing for the Jamaican accent. Kiss the Girl. From The Little Mermaid. Kitsune says he does capture and stream at 480p. So much inertia when you're trying to come back up from going down. Which is true in many things. There's that damn bird. Let's see if I can fuck him up. Come on, fuck around with that steak. Fuck him up. Ugh, get him. He's probably going to get me killed. Piss. So you can land on those poo nuggets just fine. Because like I said before, you can land on them and then push them off the bottom of the screen. Look at how high they bounce! It's like a third of the screen. And I'm pretty sure they don't... that they just keep bouncing that height. They don't go any lower. Come on, you mofo. Just trying to get this dude off the top of the screen here. Piss. Okay, I'm good. Oh, the bird's actually helping me. And you cannot touch the bird either, because that will kill your balloon as well. Oh, god damn it. Okay, I think we get this game. I think we get it. Gonna move on to the next game now. Oh, that took a while to sync up. Then we'll go on to my favorite game, Porter. I love this intro music here. And the music in this game in general. Kitsune says NASA engineers would like to get their hands on this bird shit to learn its properties. Yeah, the fact that it can bounce forever, I mean, that would be... I'm sure that would be useful in something. Anyway, here we go. So, as soon as this game starts up, you can see that it is a Sokoban clone. Basically, you're the dude right there, and the goal is to push the boxes onto the stars. You can only push them, which means if you push them up against the wall, you're basically fucked. There is a way to restart the stage, and it's actually far too easy to do in this version of the game. I think all you hit is B, and that instantly restarts the stage with no confirmation. So as the levels go on, they get a little bit more complex. As you can see right here, I've already pushed it onto the star, but then I can't get to the other ones, so you have to move the boxes on and off of the stars in some of the levels. So this level you set up basically by doing like that, and then you go in a clockwise motion, and then you go all the way back around, just pushing the boxes where they're supposed to go, except that one I'm going to have to do over. Oh shit, I may have fucked it. Am I stuck already? No, I'm not. Okay, I can do this. There we go. Jormor says, I've got to get going, Jeremy. Catch you next time. Well, thank you, Jormor, for tuning in. If you want to watch the rest of this, I will be uploading a recording of it later, as usual. Shit! See what I did right there? I fucked it. There's no way to get that box out of that corner. At least it's not game over the first time you fuck up. You do have lives. And the only reason why I set these boxes up like this in the first place is because I know that's how you do it. You have to give yourself room to work. What I meant to do for this right here is push it up one, and then do like this. Because what I'm going to do for this right here is, basically all these boxes over here cannot go down this way. Because you push them over in this corner and they're stuck. So what you have to do is you have to push them over to right here, and then go around and push them up from above. And that means the boxes are most likely to come in vertically right here, so I'm going to keep this open until the very end. Move that so I can move it later, or move the one that I didn't move later. And also in this game, there's no fear of accidentally pushing a box just by moving, Because, see, I'm pushing down on the stick right there? It's not actually pushing the box. You have to push A to actually move the box. And that's a good safety measure. It means just moving around isn't going to fuck you up by accident. In this game there is a timer, so you have to be mindful of it. If you hadn't figured it out yet, this is a puzzle game. You'll see a lot of levels take on this basic design right here, where you push a box into one position, you go around an obstacle, and then you push it from the other side. Ooh, shit. I almost messed that up. Last box. And there we go. Tom says the overworld levels in Dash Galaxy and the Alien Asylum, which is an NES game, are just like this Porter game. Are they? I guess I don't remember that. It's been a while since I played that game. Kitsune says, next up, Choo Choo Rocket. I haven't actually played Choo Choo Rocket. I've always heard good things about it. So, are you saying that Choo Choo Rocket is a clone of this game, or is a clone of the game after this on the menu? Okay, I remember this level. You're actually going to be pushing blocks from both sides of this area right here. So I'm going to specifically keep this vertical row open and this horizontal row open. Which is why I'm going to push this down, fill in that corner. Put that right there. I think this is a game that you might like, Sean, because it's a brainy game. It's a puzzle game, like I said. Oh, and by the way, if you decide that you want to pause the game so you can plan out what you're going to do, that's what happens when you pause. You saw it before. But yeah, it removes all the boxes and all the stars, so you have to figure this out in the time limit. It's like Tetris in that way. Pause the game and the entire screen goes blank. Because they're bastards! Also, you notice while he's running, he kind of stutters at each place. See, I'm holding down and he's going ch-ch-ch-ch. And that's actually a good thing, too. Because that means he properly lines up with the boxes every time. Okay, Kitsune says that Choo Choo Rocket is different. Okay, so which side do I want to do first? I don't think it really matters, so I'm going to go down here. Push this one over here. As usual, I know I'm going to be pushing blocks down vertically right here, so I'm going to keep this open, and I'm also going to keep this over here open. I think I fucked it up. Yeah, I did. There's no way for me to get in there now. Cause see? I'm stuck now. Okay, restart. Sean says, game looks interesting. Tom says his cousin might be joining the stream. He invited him to chat and watch. Well, thanks for passing on the word, Tom. The more the merrier. So how the hell do I get that box? I know how to do right there. I gotta push this. I know I'm gonna need to push this one all the way to the right anyway, but so I'm going to push it right there, and then I come down from below and get this one. And then go all the way out and around. And do that one there. See, Kitsune says he's thought of Boulder Dash, which he's never beaten. Yeah, Boulder Dash is something I'd like to do at some point. Oh, you know what? I think I might have done this wrong. Because the only way I can push this is straight up. And see, if I push it right there... Yeah, I need to restart this, because this box right here is going to also need to go up, which means it would have to go there, which means these would have to come down. Maybe it's not lost yet. There might still be a way. Oop. Thought I messed that up, but that was okay. Okay, so... I think I go that way. Yeah, I need to restart this. Because those three over here are going to have to come down right here. Yeah, I need to rethink this. Looks like I've got 6 people watching right now. That's a good number. That's definitely up there in viewers. How did I do this last time? I think instead I'm going to push these two over here. These two boxes right here. I'm going to put this one up here. And those 3 boxes in the bottom right are going to go right here. I think that'll work. Also notice how the boxes change color once they're on top of a star. Just a little visual indication that you've put it in the right place. Getting some weird glitching in the upper right-hand corner. I poured hours and hours and hours into this game. I think I remember getting as high as like level 15 or 16. Never beat it. I don't know how long it is. Got no choice, it has to go down. Okay, yeah, I think we might have this. Now, right there, do not push it down one more. If you do, you're fucked. Because if you do, that pushes it down like that, and the only way to get around it is to push it down another one, and then it's butted up against those metal blocks, and that's it, you're done. I've done that before, and it pissed me off. Special note, you cannot push multiple boxes at once. Like, I can push on these all I want. As soon as you have 2 of them stuck side by side, they don't move. And you can actually use that to your advantage. Which is why I wasn't quite so careful about pushing in the block that went right here. Because I knew that the one behind it would stop it. Alright, we got that one. Ah, Pence has joined the chat. He says, what system are we playing? And Kitsune says it's an unlicensed game for NES. This is Porter, which is part of the 6-in-1 game cartridge. Tom says, Pants is my cousin. We have a YouTube channel called Lime Popsicle and Pants. I'm the Lime Popsicle. Nice. I'll have to check that out. Tom says, Pants says this game is like Fire and Ice for the NES. So does that mean that on the NES that Fire and Ice is not a platformer? Because I've played Fire and Ice on PC, and it's a side-scrolling platformer on that. Kisune says this is also similar to Solomon's Key. Actually don't remember too much about that game. Kisune says he hated Solomon's Key and Mighty Bomb Jack, which is also an NES game. They're both NES games, actually. Due to the lives and game over design. No passwords or anything. I hate that! I hate no save feature. It pisses me off. Okay. It's been a while since I've been this far. I think I do this, and like that. And this one I think is going to involve going out and around a lot. First thing I'm going to plug is that other corner up there. And I'm also going to clear this out of the way. So I'm going out and around again. And I want that one to go on top of that star right there, which means I'm going out and around again. Because I'm trying to keep those two paths clear. This one over here, and this one down here. Should I leave that there? I think I can push it up. The controls for this game are actually really good. In fact, the controls for all of the 6-in-1 games are actually pretty good. I have very few complaints. And there is no way to push a box around this corner, so that's got to go there. So that this one can go up from the bottom. And there we go. Pence says Fire and Ice on the NES is indeed not the same as on the PC. That's interesting. That must have been one of those games where it was developed in parallel by different developers, so they each had a slightly different take on it. Oh, really? Oh, that's what you meant. Because Tom said that this game was like Fire and Ice on the NES. Kitsune said Solomon's Key 2. And then Kitsune says Fire and Ice is a senseless rebranding of Solomon's Key 2. Okay, I get it now. I think I pushed this one right there. But I didn't just screw it up. I think I can, because these three boxes are going to need to go in. So if I put that one right there, it should be okay. That one there. And then I have to leave one to do that star on the bottom. Okay, I think I got this. Stage 8. Oh boy, this stage. I do remember this. I specifically remember pushing this one to like right there. See, I got 5 boxes over there, and I have 5 stars right here. Okay. Because if you look at the way this is designed right here, pushing these boxes out right here, if I push a box to this position right here where I'm standing, the only way to push it any further is to push it again so I can get around it. And once it's up against that vertical wall right there, it can only go vertically. So the boxes on the right-hand side are going to go on this vertical thing. The ones on the left-hand side are going to go on this vertical thing. Pants says that Foxy Boy, otherwise known as Kitsune, is right about Fire and Ice being a rebranding of Solomon's Key 2. And Fire and Ice is even one of those rare NES games too that go for like 80 to 90 bucks last I checked. So that's kind of a shame that something so rare is not more unique. A lot of rare NES games actually come from the fact that they were released late in the NES's life cycle. But they were also mature NES games as well, like Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers 2 or DuckTales 2. Now again, right here, gotta be careful not to push this past that last star, or you're fucked. That's why I left that open, because this one goes straight up here. Okay. Oh shit. I think I'm gonna run out of time. Gotta be careful right there not to push it one too many, otherwise it goes down in this hole and you're fucked. See, there's lots of ways to lose quickly in this particular game. This could be tight. Okay, there we go. Kitsune says, I'm a Famicom player, but I still remember a fair number of the name changes of games for NES. Tom says, hey Jeremy, you and Pants have something in common as you can both program video games. Sweet. It's nice to meet a fellow programmer. Kitsune says he played DuckTales 2 in the last month or so. I like the new mechanics added that one didn't have. Did you play it in like emulation or on Virtual Console or something? Or are you lucky enough to have a cartridge? Tom says that Pants is also good at puzzle games and likes games like that. Kitsune says Jeremy is a dev. Yes, sort of. Not professionally. I do make software for a living, but I don't make video games. I make business software. But it pays the bills. This level's actually kind of nice because Mostly just goes in a spiral. It goes pretty quickly. But yeah, I am working on a video game. I've been working on essentially a sprite engine for the last several years, off and on. My video game development company that I'm also part of with Jay, who was watching it in the chat, is called Fire Hazard Games. And if you go to firehazardgames.com, you can find the first and most recent game that we published, which is Maze Master, and we published it in 2005. And ever since then, I've been working on a new engine, in some form or another. Oh shit, I think I just fucked that up. I did. No, maybe not. Maybe not. Because I can do this. Okay. Well, piss! Now what am I supposed to do? Because I need that one to get up and around the corner. There's no way. Yeah. Because to get that box in the bottom right-hand corner, I would have to go up and around this, which I can't do because that box is now in the way. And if I go down around the other way, I'd have to push that box into the wall. Restart. Kisune says he owns DuckTales too. Urgh, fuck you. Last I saw that game was like $150. I'm kidding, not fuck you. Kitsune apparently also writes business software. He says it's a lot simpler to write than games. Yes, it is. Which is why I don't think I would ever want to be a video game developer for money, because when you go from doing business software to video games, the level of skill required and the demands on your brain and the expectations instantly shoot through the roof. And so that means the pressure goes through the roof too, and I kind of want to keep my hair, you know? So I'll keep making pig software, and I'll retire eventually. And in the meantime, I'll make games for fun. Jay Moser says that Fire Hazard Games is trying to beat Duke Nukem Forever's development cycle. Then Tom says, "Are you all out of bubblegum, Jay?" And Jay says, "I am." Thomas Smith says, "Kick ass." That's what Duke Nukem says. He says, "I'm here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum." Sorry, that's the best Duke Nukem I can do, and it's not great. There's somebody else on YouTube that can do a perfect Duke Nukem impersonation. And I'm not talking about John St. John either. Although I guess his Duke Nukem impersonation is better than everybody else's. So. Now what? It's fucked. I think it's fucked. Yeah, that's done. Okay, I'm gonna move on to the last game now. I like playing this game, but I think I'm spending too much time on it. So that was Porter. Which, by the way, I think the story behind that game is that you're a guy working in an airport, moving boxes around, moving luggage, that kind of stuff. Nice story, huh? Kisune says, "Jeremy, you know that Famicom DuckTales 2 is not stupid." Yeah, I know it's not. But I want the NES version. Tom says, Pants said that was more like a Clint Eastwood impersonation, huh? And he's also Skyping with him, which is why there's things that he knows that aren't showing up in the chat. Okay, last game, Boogeyman. Don't start. And you can probably instantly tell that this is a clone of Crush Roller, which is effectively a Pac-Man clone. The idea is I'm this bug down at the bottom, and I need to go over all of these areas on the map to change their color. The story behind this game is that I am cleaning the streets. I don't know why that is. Oh shit, 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 shit! Yeah, you don't want those things to hit you. But you do have those two brushes, which I hit one of them before, that's this one. When it's on the end like that, you can brush into these things and kill them. But you gotta be careful because they know that the brush is coming, so that they will intentionally try to avoid the brush. And if they happen to turn around when you come off the end of the brush, then you run right into them and you're dead. And then that other fucking bug shows up and starts shitting all over the place. And you have to go clean up his shit. Because those count as dirty streets. You bastards! They love to trap you like that. This guy you can just eat, though, I think. Nom. You don't have to hit him with a brush, thankfully. Oh, that was luck. They could have trapped me right there. That's level 1 done. Kitsune says, sad penguin. I think he's talking about the blue guy that's towards the bottom right-hand corner there. One weird thing is, when those hearts are filling it up after you clear the level, if you watch as they fill up a line, once they hit one of the characters that's outside the maze, then those characters outside the maze actually animate. Like you can see that the penguin guy right there is moving his feet, and when the hearts line up with him, he moves his feet. I don't know why that is, it might be a bug. And that guy is inside my ass. Oh, you bitch! I tried to turn around to use that brush, but did it anyway. And the street shitter in this maze is some kind of chess piece. Come here. Nom. Now you notice how every time you kill an enemy like that, it counts up on a counter? I don't know what really the point is of counting it, but I wonder what happens when you max it out. Like when you've killed 9,999 enemies, what happens if you get one more? Does the game crash? There we go. Yeah, here it goes. Watch the hearts as they go through the characters. See the lion's tail will twitch. That guy will move his feet. Those other things do their thing. Okay, pause. Kisune says, does the map never change? No, the map never changes. It's the maps are just palette swaps of the same thing back to back. Maybe after you clear a certain number of levels, then it'll change the actual map. I haven't actually gotten very far in this game. He says, Kitsune says, if I wanted the same map over and over, I'd play Return of Mario Brothers. You mean Return of Mario Brothers? I was going to say, is that the Virtual Boy game, but that's Mario Clash. I bet he's talking about the Mario Brothers multiplayer game that is on the Game Boy Advance Super Mario Advance games. Because every Super Mario Advance, I think all of them, had the exact same Mario Brothers clone in them. And people complained about that, but I know why that is. It's because people that had different copies, different versions of Super Mario Advance, like someone had Super Mario Advance 2 and someone had Super Mario Advance 3, they could still play multiplayer in that Mario Brothers game. But that's kind of a justification. They could have done something differently with it each time. Tom says that Boogeyman seems like a decent game. He's a sucker for old games with bright colors. This game does have bright colors. I do like how colorful this game is. He says that... And then Kitsune says that Tom must love Mark III then. And then Tom asks the pertinent question, what the heck is Return of Mario Brothers and Mark III? Oh, okay. Kitsune says Return of Mario Brothers is for the Famicom Disk System, exclusive to it. It's an update to the original Mario Brothers. That's a reason for me to get a Famicom Disk System. I would love to play exclusive games on that. And not just ones that were later ported to the NES. Yeah! Two of those fuckers. Of course, then they respawn in like 2 seconds. But I'll take a 2-second reprieve if that's what I get. Piss. Shit! I just keep walking into that. That was just dumb. I think the game is trying to tell me that I need to stop playing. This time it's a screw. Because it likes to screw you. Shit. I walked right into that too. Okay, that's game over. I guess that means we're done with Boogeyman. Kitsune says the number one reason he likes Return of Mario Brothers, you can control Mario in midair, which you cannot do in the original Mario Brothers. Once you're walking in a direction and you jump, you maintain 100% inertia until you hit the ground. It's not like Super Mario Brothers, where you have some degree of control over Mario once he's in the air. No, in the original Mario Brothers, once you jump, you're committed. Which does make the game kind of hard. Tom says, is disc writing like Mario Maker, where you make your own levels? Looks like Kitsune goes on to explain this. Yeah. He says, when the Famicom Disk System was on the market in Japan, there were kiosks known as Disc Writer, where you would bring, like a retail store would have a disc writer inside. And he said you'd bring your own disc in and pay them, and the kiosk would put a new game onto your disc, and then you walk out with your disc. And so that was a cheaper way of getting games, too. It was cheaper to bring in your own disc and have them write one on it than it was to buy a new disk system game. And correct me if I'm wrong, Kitsune, but I think doing that was also cheaper than buying cartridges. Tom says, every time you say Boogeyman, I keep hearing Pokemon. No, I say it the proper way, Pokemon. People that say Pokemon, well, they can go to hell, because they're doing it wrong. Look at the score for that. It's doubling. It's not counting up incrementally. Interesting. So look at that. It goes to 8192, And then that's 9999, because the next one up from 8192 would be 16384, I believe. Kisune says it's a shame the Famicom Disk System didn't go much beyond 3 years. Yeah, it was. I think the Famicom Disk System was ahead of its time. He said being cheaper than carts was a big appealing factor, plus the ability to save without shelling out for batteries inside the carts, and games can use FM. That's right, because the discs were rewritable even inside the Famicom Disk System. So if you wanted to save your game, it would actually save it to the disc. But when Famicom Disk System games were ported to NES, like The Legend of Zelda, they had to put a battery inside the cartridge and special RAM inside the cartridge to hold the save games. But that means that when that battery in the cartridge dies, you lose your save games. Whereas when it's written onto a disc, it stays there unless the disc quality degrades or something demagnetizes the disc. So fairly reliable. I mean, floppies, if you take good care of them, they'll last. They're like anything else. I have hundreds of floppy disks that still work. And when Kitsune says that Famicom Disk System games can use FM, he's talking about the FM chip that was inside the Famicom Disk System, which gave Famicom Disk System games options for better music output. One of those games was Super Mario Bros. 2, which at the end of the game, it played a special ending song that was higher quality than the one that you heard at the end of Super Mario Bros. Kitsune says that some games didn't get batteries because Nintendo was cheap. Like Metroid, which had a massive password. I'm wondering, though, if... because Metroid was one of the launch titles for the NES. Maybe not launch title, but with really close to the launch of the NES, because it had the same box design as the first NES games. It was like in that same kind of style. And so I'm wondering if, because I'm almost positive that Metroid came out before Zelda on the NES, so I'm wondering if with Metroid it had a password and not a battery because Nintendo hadn't figured out how to put a battery in the cartridge yet. But by the time Zelda came along, they did. But that window would have had to be very small because both of those games were released as a 5-screw cartridge. Kitsune says that his Metroid on Famicom Disk System has 3 save slots, like the first Zelda. That'd be interesting. I'd actually like to see the startup screens for that Metroid to see what they look like. He also says Zelda was a Famicom Disk System launch title. Okay. Tom says, I might have missed this at the start, but what is Caltron exactly? Did they make anything else? No, Caltron made only this cartridge, and that was it. And I think that's the only thing they ever did. They made the games on this cartridge, they manufactured the cartridges and released it, and shortly afterwards they went under. Which is a shame, because as far as clone games go, these are very high quality clones, I think. I think if 6-in-1 had done better, then Caltron would have stuck around, and who knows, they might have even become a licensed developer. Okay, Kitsune says he has a no-death run of Metroid Famicom Disk System uploaded. He says, you should be able to identify all the juicy differences as it's real hardware recorded. I do like identifying differences. He's right. Kitsune says that the score bonus for killing enemies in this game is bit shifting. That's exactly what it's doing. Yep, they bit shifted it to save memory. Anyway, I think I'm going to actually finally end the recording at least. I'm going to hang around in the chat like I usually do afterwards. But I'm not playing games anymore. I'm just talking. So that's probably not of much use to people that are just tuning into the recording. So that's going to be the end of this. More stuff on the way as usual, once I can get the funds to pull it off. And if you want to know when I'm live streaming, there's two ways you can be notified of that. You can either follow me on Twitter, which there is a link to my Twitter profile on my YouTube channel page, or you can subscribe to me with the YouTube Gaming app on your favorite device, and that will notify you as soon as I start streaming. So that's it for this. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked it, and yeah, it's fun showing off something rare and actually good for a rare game, and not rare because it's shitty. So, see you next time.